नित्यानन्देश्वरसमारम्भां नित्यानन्देश्वरिमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, Samajis, Satsangis, Shri Mahants, Mahants, Kotaris, Tanidar, visitors, YouTube subscribers, viewers. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. Let's enter into Kenopanishad. The more and more I chew the thought current, and see its effect on the system, more and more I fall in love with Upanishads. Sometimes I wonder why the humanity is missing these great, powerful, liberating thought currents. Keneshitam patati preshitam mana kena pranaha pratama praidiyuktaha keneshitam vachamimam vadanti Chakshushrotram kabutevo yunakti. There cannot be more non-assumption questions, non-assuming questioning. There cannot be more pure questioning than this line. Keneshitam patati preshitam Manakena prana pratama praiti yuktaha keneshitam vachamimam vadanti chakshushrotram kavudevo yunakti. By whom, will and caused, does the mind go towards its object? By whom, directed and united with which, does the first vital life energy, the chief cause, comes forth towards its activities? At whose will does the speech gets activated and speaks? Enlivened and directed by what luminous divine power? Indeed, do the eyes and the ears engage in their functions? Pure questioning in the form of poetry. That is the beauty of Upanishads. Pure questioning does not mean they are dry. Pure questioning in the form of poetry. Amazing renunciation with extraordinary romance. Amazing renunciation with extraordinary romance, pure questioning in beautiful poetry. One more powerful lie taught to you and makes you powerless is, if you are logical, rational, You cannot be poetic, flowing. If you are masculine, you can't be feminine. If you are feminine, you can't be masculine. This is one of the most powerful lie taught to you which makes you powerless. Along with revealing the sacred secrets and sacred truths, I need to tell you the dirty lies taught to you. Keneshitam patati preshitam mana kena prana pradama praiti yuktaha. Keneshitam vachamimam vadanti chakshushrotram kavudevo yunakti. When I read this verse, I am seeing the union of pure questioning, means powerful, unassuming questioning, logic, rationality, and the beautiful poetry. This verse is like Ardhanarishwara, Sadashiva and Adi Shakti together, masculine and feminine together. Any muscle you may carry, the moment you identify that muscle is male, masculine, and you try to dictate certain kind of ideas into it, it loses the ability to flow. Or if you dictate certain identification and force it, you are denying the other part. You are going to be craving for the other part forever and die in incompletion. This should be one of the important lessons in all my Gurukuls. Do not brand your body as male or female and constantly program it. Listen. By its very natural physiology, how it functions, let it function. That you can't change. By its natural physiology, if it is male, it will function in certain male qualities. If it is female, it will function certain female qualities. But physiological masculine, feminine, natural principles are different. Artificial, psychological, forced thought currents about the masculine and feminine are different. When you artificially force the social concepts of masculine and feminine, when you artificially push the social concept of masculine and feminine, the psychological concept of masculine and feminine, you suppress the free flow of muscle memory. I tell you, whatever muscle memory you pick up by your own lifestyle. For example, if you eat too much, you will feel sleepy. This kind of muscle memories which you pick up by your habits, trial and error, can always be simply, easily completed. But the muscle memories you pick up from the society as the definition or fantasy, which is again by the wrong people and wrong thought current, wrong understanding, unenlightened resources, can cause deep complications from which you will never be able to get out. Understand? That is why I say natural physiological principles of masculine, feminine gender should be lived, but constant reminding of what society talks or considers as gender, those psychological principles should not get into your system. They should not become part of your muscle memory or biomemory, because the suppression, repercussions they can cause, listen, suppression and repercussions they can cause, the incompletions they create, the tension they generate, can cost your conscious growth for births, for many births. Don't. The ideas from unenlightened resources should be denied access into your inner space. Let your muscle memory, biomemory grow out of your own experiments, trials, errors, right, wrong, by celebrating you. A kid should not be given the idea of what is so-called masculine, so-called feminine. Let he or she grow up. They will naturally understand their physiology and the natural principles of their physiology. They should have their own understanding. Only give them the subtle intelligence to watch themselves, micromanage themselves. Then they will know what hurts, what gives pleasure, what gives joy, what gives peace, what gives healthy feeling, what makes them feel sick. They will understand the natural physiological principles of their gender. Otherwise, feeding the misunderstandings from unenlightened resources is one of the main reason where whole humanity is stuck. Sometimes even till 90, you are craving for pornography. What it means? Your next janma is going to be hell. Listen, even when body cannot act, if your mind is craving, you are going to enter into the body. Even before the body gets matured, mind will start craving. When the body cannot act, still your mind is craving, you are going to enter into the next body. Even before the body gets matured, your mind will start craving. Means the physical maturity age will be drastically reduced, which will directly speak on your physical health, mental health, your ability to handle yourself, and the longevity. On everything, it is going to have an impact. I have a story. In a class, one student asked, "What gender is computer?" The teacher thought it would be a good exercise to have the students decide what they thought the gender should be. She split the class into two groups, appropriately enough by gender, asked them to decide whether computer should be masculine or feminine noun. Computer is male or female. Both groups were required to give at least 4 reasons for their recommendation. The men's group decided that computer should definitely be of the feminine gender because no one but their creator understands their internal logic. The native language they use to communicate with other computers is incomprehensible to everyone else. Even the smallest mistakes are stored in long-term memory for possible later review. As soon as you make a commitment to one, you constantly find yourself spending more money on accessories for it. The women's group, however, concluded that computers should be male, masculine, because in order to do anything with them, you have to turn them on. They have a lot of data, but still can't think for themselves. They are supposed to help you solve problems, but half the time they are the problem. Fourth, as soon as you commit to one, you realize that if you had waited a little longer, you could have gotten a better model. The social concepts and definitions of gender, gender-related issues, if you take it as a joke, great. But if you seriously record them in your muscle memory and biomemory and keep them inside your cognition, it can be dangerous. Please listen. It can be dangerous. When a male body made to believe certain concepts of masculine, certain concepts of being a male by the society, the kind of a tension that muscle memory, biomemory goes through, the kind of a suppression it goes through, the kind of expectation it has about the other gender, the kind of incompletion it suffers and craves for the suppressed part, is hell. Such punishment for whole life. And the worst thing is, whatever you suppressed in you, declaring yourself as the male and avoiding anything other than so-called male, you will be searching for it in some other muscles which you will never find. Which you will never find. And this seeking goes on, tortures the person who is living with you, who has committed their life to you. It is like you torture the other person. The other person, she has her own suppressions. She is also product of the society, unenlightened resources. She has suppressed tons of things in the name of she being a female. So all that she is searching in your muscles. It's like in Indian villages, this early morning hen will come out with chicken and start searching all the dustbins for food. Searching. Searching in others for the suppressed component in your muscle. Searching in others for the suppressed component in your muscle is the most frustrating thing that can happen to anybody in life. Even if you are a potato couch, because you did trial and error on yourself, it's easy to get you out of it. But the patterns you pick up from others, believe it as your muscle memory, install it in your biomemory, takes such long completion, requires strong completion process for you to get out. Again and again it triggers violence, dissatisfaction, incompletion, resistance, a wrong principles of sex. Understand this word, wrong principles of sex. Earlier in India, men used to wear only the dhoti and maybe one small angavastram. Slowly, the exposed upper body started getting associated with the idea of sex. Then they will have to cover. Then now even the exposed shoulders gets associated with the idea of sex. I don't know when the exposed eyes and the nose are going to get associated with the idea of sex. And then you have to wear complete covering. Understand various parts of body triggering various ideas, concepts, patterns in your system shows how the society is going lower and lower level, and our common agreements are sinking deeper and deeper and stinking. Our common understandings do matter. Our common understandings do matter because knowingly or unknowingly, even if you understand the higher principles, in your day-to-day life you are forced to live the common understandings. Unless you are a Naga, or you declare yourself to be Naga. Indian cities are no more safe for Naga sadhus. Even recently, I saw 2-3 videos uploaded by some of our Akkada Naga sadhus in the Facebook. Only if they travel as 2, 3 together, it is safe. Understand. This line manifests, demonstrates the inner space of the Upanishadic Rishi through whom this verse was sung, revealed. It embodies the pure questioning, the rationality in its peak, and poetry in its depth. Masculine and feminine in the space of completion. Masculine and feminine in the space of completion. The muscles which complete, muscles which are complete, muscles which radiate completion, demonstrates the grace of masculine and feminine principles. This should be one of the important lessons for our Gurukuls. Kids should be allowed to grow with natural physiological principles of their bodies, should not be abused with the concepts from unenlightened resources about masculine, feminine ideas, which cripples their psychology, suppresses, inserts the suppression in their muscle memory and biomemory, makes them incomplete and makes them run around searching for the other part forever in their life, which they are never going to discover. The natural principles of sex does not need a part of you getting suppressed. It's again the so-called stupid modern society's concept that unless you have a need, you will not act. It is like how the currency is. Unless you are kept in poverty, you will not work. Otherwise, for whose sake we work, nobody knows. Whole planet Earth, all the countries put together, $1.33 trillion debt. To whom? To whom? How the stupid concept of money is generated by the common understanding that only if people are kept in poverty they can work. No, it is not necessary. But it's a wrong common understanding. Same way, one of the most abusive common understanding is only if one part of you is suppressed, you will start searching for it. You will start entering the married life. You will start living the married life. The life will go on the earth. No. No. Grain-based civilization, which does not require poverty to make people work. Consciousness-based understandings about masculine, feminine principles, which does not require suppression for human beings to function and reproduce. The natural physiological principles are powerful enough to run the life as Sadashiva wants on the planet Earth, and keep the humanity alive. The artificial concepts about male, female does not need to be inserted into your psychology, in turn affect your muscle memory and biomemory for the life to go on. And the human beings to flourish, thrive, survive on the planet Earth. Meditate today on the pure inner space where the masculine and feminine principles understandings exist, but not the social conditionings about masculine and feminine. Understand, masculine, feminine, natural principles are different, social conditionings are different. Why the computer is male or female? All the 8 principles are social conditionings. Meditate on them. It's not a joke, it's truth. The social conditionings of being male and female need to be renounced for the complete completion, and renunciation of social conditioning about male, female makes most beautiful beings on the planet Earth. Beings like Krishna, beings like Sadashiva, Sundareshwara, Meenakshi. In recent times, Ramakrishna, Ramana Maharishi, Anandamayi, Paramahamsa Yogananda, some of the most beautiful, graceful beings are the people who renounced the social conditioning of being male and female, who held on to the natural principles of masculine and feminine energies. I'll produce tons of these graceful beings. This should be one of the important lessons in our Gurukul system. The natural principles, the physiological understandings of being male and female should be taught, and the social conditionings should not be allowed. With this, I wanted the Vakyartha Sadas to be done on this subject today. The natural principles of being male and female and social conditionings of male, masculine and feminine concepts. Natural. What all the natural physiological principles? What all the social conditionings? When we mix both of them and mess up, how we suffer. This should be the subject for Vakyartha Sadas today. I bless you all. Let you all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Shuddhadvaita Saivam, the eternal bliss, Nityananda. Thank you. Be blissful.